The color purple, sipping perp, sipping lean. The color of royalty is purple. Sipping lean probably makes you feel like royalty. I don't know. I've never sipped it. I have thought about it. I'm curious. Is sipping lean something that's done out of necessity or out of, I don't know. Is it worth it? Or is it kind of like performative? I feel like a guy like me who culturally was not in the environment of lean, if I started sipping perp, it would be so performative. Like imagine me, 25-year-old white man, barely ever been around perp or lean, maybe like once or twice. I say, yeah, I'm sipping perp. You're not going to think that's an authentic perp sipping. You think you're going to know that I'm sipping perp because I think that it adds something to my character. So that's why I've never sipped perp or lean. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Let me know if I should try it. And it is the color of royalty, though. I'm right about that. I think it was maybe the ancient Sumerians, something like that. They got purple dye for their clothes, like from a sea snail or a beetle or some shit. And they would kill like 10,000 snails or beetles just to like make one purple robe. And obviously you could just mix red and blue to get a purple robe. You don't have to kill 10,000 snails, but that's not very luxurious or royal to just mix red and blue. And I think they even they banned normal people from purple. Purple was only for royalty. Which is why sipping perp is so symbolic of where our culture is now, because, a couple thousand years ago, it would be illegal to even witness the color purple inside your home. And now you can make a purple beverage on a budget that gives you the elation that previously was only accessible by the royalty who would kill 10,000 snails for a purple robe. What the fuck am I saying? Purple, blue, and red does make purple. That's called subtractive color mixing. Because what they'll tell you is that the primary colors are red, yellow, blue. Red and blue make purple. They're lying to you. The education system has been lying to you about the primary colors your entire life. The primary colors are cyan, magenta, and yellow. And back when they, formulated the idea to teach kids about this, they were like, kids, they're not ready to learn the concept of cyan and magenta. They'll learn it when they're older. But then you never did learn it when you were older. Your entire life you've been thinking that red, yellow, blue are the primary colors, when really red is an approximation of magenta. Maybe they assumed you wouldn't be able to pronounce the word magenta. And yellow, or blue, is an approximation of cyan. But because they're subtractive mixing colors, basically what that means is a color in something is the reflection of light at a specific wavelength. And as you mix different wavelengths together, it subtracts how much it can reflect until you get all the way to black, which doesn't reflect any light at all. So when you mix colors together, you're subtracting the wavelength and making it blend into different colors. And that's why magenta and cyan, they're much brighter than red and blue, because a blood red and like a lapis lazuli blue, those aren't going to mix into other colors very well because they're so dark already. When you're subtracting, they're going to get darker, because then you're wondering, subtractive, why do we even have to say that? Because there's also additive color mixing, RGB LEDs, red, green, blue, because those aren't pigments. It's on the light wave. So those, they don't have to reflect light, they generate light. And when you combine the colors, two lights shining makes a brighter light. That's additive color mixing. So the primary colors with additive, the light spectrum, is red, green, and blue. Isn't that something? You look at this. You're already learning, unless you already knew that. But someone who was educated on these matters probably isn't clicking YouTube videos titled something like talking about purple for as long as I can. You're probably reading a book, so you didn't know this stuff. You're learning right now. Purple, last color of the rainbow, or I guess it's not. It's Roy G. Biv, indigo and violet, which, let's be honest, liberal diversity, same thing they did with the primary colors. They told you, let's simplify it. Let's make it red, yellow, blue. Why don't we simplify the rainbow? Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Red and orange, same color. We're going to mix those. That's just red. Yellow can stay. Blue and green. Do we mix blue and green? I feel like I would have to look at a real rainbow, but they are kind of connecting to each other. I think we're combining blue and green to blue-green. That's one color. And then indigo and violet, that's purple. So we've got red, yellow, blue, green, purple. That's 4 colors, and that's all we really need. But see, what liberals did, if the mic picked that up, that was my dash cam turning off. What the liberals did is they diversified the color spectrum of the rainbow while stifling the true qualified colors of primary colors. This is what DEI does. This is what it does. Anyways, purple. Once I saw a lady turn purple. We were at like it's like a breakfast diner that only old people, like a normal person doesn't eat there. But my grandpa was in town. We were eating there. Me, my baby brother, my sister, her boyfriend, my mom, my grandma, my grandpa. They're visiting. We're eating at this shitty breakfast diner. And then I'm sitting there and we all, like, my mom goes like, "Oh my God, she's choking." I look behind me. This large woman, she's large. It's important to the story, maybe? It is important to the story, all right? This isn't me hating on her. She was a very large lady, and she's slowly getting blue. She's not purple yet. My mom goes like, "Oh my God." I start calling 911 immediately. It's the only time I've ever called 911. My sister's boyfriend, my mom is like, go try to do the Heimlich on her. And he goes and he starts trying to do the Heimlich, but he was like 6'2". He was a big guy. He was strong. He couldn't get his arms all the way around her because she was so big. And later he said that every time he pulled, trying to do the Heimlich maneuver on her, she was releasing huge farts right onto him. But she's starting to turn purple. Like, seeing someone in real life turn that color is kind of insane. Like they say it in movies, but like seeing someone in person be purple laying on the ground, this big purple woman on the ground dying, it's insane. And I'm talking to 911. And 911, I guess they just like keep people on the line and they're just asking so many questions. They're like, "How old is she?" I was like, "I don't know, middle-aged or older." And then they're like, "Well, if you had to guess, what would you say?" And I'm like, I'm bad. I'm like, 40, 50? And they're like, "What? Give me one number." I was like, "Why?" And I like lower the phone. I'm like, how old would you guess she is to my mom? My mom is like, "Why the fuck are you asking me that?" My mom, she literally just yelled, "Old! She's old!" And I was like, she's old. I'm going to say 50. And it took the fire department maybe a little longer than it should have for them to get there, but not crazy long. I think it feels longer when a lady is actively dying. But before they got there, one of the waitresses, what a hero. I wish I could have talked to her. This lady is on the ground, probably literally about to die if it wasn't for this waitress. This waitress sticks, she's a small girl, so she can fit her entire hand like into this lady's mouth and pulls out a huge chunk of like meat roast. And it was like this big. It's just like, why did she jam that in her mouth? I know she's a bigger lady, but like That's just an insane mouthful of food. Like, why? What? Your fork is heavy if you're putting that in your mouth. And she did. And then she started throwing it down her throat before even chewing and almost choked to death. And what's really weird, this whole time, her husband, who's sitting with her, he doesn't stand up. Her husband, she's laying on the ground, literally a color I've never seen a person be, like seconds from death. He doesn't stand up. And then the firefighters get there, and not long after the waitress rips it out of her mouth, he's kind of like it's okay, but still sitting in the chair. And I don't think he was like disabled or anything. He just is sitting in the chair. And then the firefighters get there, and he starts like yelling at them, like, what took so long? Why'd you take so long? Look at her. And then she's still on the ground, like, she's starting to look like a human again. She's not purple anymore. Remember, we're talking purple here. And he starts taking like little bites of his food, which I guess after your wife almost chokes to death, you're going to be a little bit scared of choking. So the best time to eat would be when there are firefighters present. So he just started nibbling his food while the firefighters checked on there. He's like nibbling his food as he's yelling at the fighters, like, she could have died, while he like never stood up. So that's the only time I've ever called 911. Only time I've ever seen, I think the only time I've ever seen a purple person. And I did have a CPR certification. In the moment, I guess I forgot the nuances of it. I knew how to do CPR, but then I remembered when someone is that big, you're supposed to like put their back against the wall or lay them on the ground and just like slam your body against them because you can't wrap your arms around them. I'm glad she didn't die, or I probably would have felt a little guilty for forgetting that crucial bit of information. But in my defense, I was taking my CPR class in 2020 before COVID. My teacher was insane. And when we went into lockdown, he was like, all right, we're going to figure out a way on how everyone can do this remotely. And then we just didn't hear anything from him for like 3 weeks. And then like the end of the semester is close, and he's like, I can't figure it out. Everyone is CPR certified. I'm emailing you your certification. I was like, there was this dude in the class who said he needed this certification for a job, and that dude was like mentally disabled. I never know how to say it nicely, but like, you know, not like, fuck. God, do you see what these liberals have done? Like, he probably had like high functioning autism or something. He was dumb as hell, didn't know how to interact with people. And when we do it on the dummies, you're supposed to get the rhythm going. He could never get the rhythm. So that dude got his CPR certification. I hope he never got a job with it, because if he's the firefighter that shows up for the purple lady's dying. He doesn't know what to do. What else is purple? Grimace? Oh, dude, I saw in Germany, Grimace McDonald's. If you don't know who Grimace is, he's the big round purple guy, Grimace Shake, McDonald's. In Germany, they have a Grimace burger, Grimace pies, Grimace in everything. It's a purple burger, purple pies. I'm so jealous. I want fun things like that. Like, pump me full of dyes. I don't care. I want purple burgers. And I think it's like, I don't even think it's artificial dyes. I think it's like natural dyes, purple burger. I hope they bring it to the US. I want to eat purple food. So what do we think? Other purple characters, Barney. He's purple and green. Was there a thing where like one of the Barney mascot actors was a diddler? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. But what do we think purple represents when it comes to a character? Who are some other purple ones? Oliver from Invincible. He's a humanoid, but purple. I think purple, when it comes to a character, maybe evokes a kind of like, not hostility, but a distance between them. Like, you could see them becoming friendly or against you either way. It's not an inherently friendly color. And it doesn't even invoke the feeling of royalty. It just evokes... It almost doesn't feel unnatural for a person to be purple sometimes. And maybe that's what it's supposed to mean. Like a character from Mars, if they're purple, you're just kind of like, okay, let's see where they're going with this. Like, he's not a human, but let's see what kind of humanity he has. And did you know that, like, turn of the century from 1800s to 1900s, everyone believed it was proven that there was like a Martian society on Mars because there was this dude, like this astronomer, this French dude. He had like, telescopes weren't very good yet. And when he looked at Mars, there was like these lines and he trying to like, the French astronomer, he made a map. He tried to draw a map of Mars, which was hard because literally you would just like stare through the telescope and wait for it to be clear and then go like, okay, I drew a couple details and do that. And in it, there was like these ridges, which in French he wrote like Canalis or something, which pretty much just meant like a cavern or something. But when it got brought to the US, it got translated as canals, like something a human would dig for water to run through. So then this dude in America who was like a Nepo baby astronomer, pretty much, he was like canals, and he starts looking into it, and he starts forming this theory that there's people on Mars and they fully like are unified. There's no different countries. They're all together because he believes this canal system was used to bring the frozen water from both poles, like the North and South Pole, to connect everything in the world. And like the big newspapers straight up ran articles like, it's proven there's humans on Mars. And like there was a period of time where like everyone in the US just fully believed it was proven there was an advanced society on Mars. And it didn't make people like question their faith or anything. They're just like, oh, God's glory is on multiple planets. Of course God would do this. And then like, people started realizing, other astronomers started realizing, wait, there's not aliens on Mars. And the dude who did it, he never like backed down. He just, for like his entire life was like, yes, there's Martians on Mars. And people wanted to like send questions to Mars and be like, and the questions people wanted to send to Mars, it was just like, what's the meaning of life? Like they believe that's something you would ask a god, not just a dude, a purple dude. Purple. I started to forget the purple there for a bit. That's not something you just ask a purple dude. But like the questions people wanted to ask them was just like, what's the meaning of life? I would ask them like, is it hot? I guess I don't know what I would ask a Martian. Maybe, what do you think about the color purple? Fuck, what else can I... It's kind of hard because I'm not editing this video because I'm lazy. So it's harder to like... I can't pause and think of purple. I have these pink fuzzy dice right here. I just broke it. Oh my... I just broke the fucking string off. Oh my God. Okay. Purple. Oh, that really just threw me off. Fuck. I barely even grabbed it. I guess this is so old that the string just broke. Purple, purple, purple. Eggplant. Eggplant emoji. My penis. Is that it? I guess I failed. I thought I could go like at least a half hour, but I only made it 18 minutes of purple. And obviously, most of this wasn't actually talking purple. I'm trying to think, are there any purple logos out there? It kind of seems like purple is maybe underrepresented. Purple in nature, there's some purple flowers. You see purple in a sunset, and maybe that's why it's royalty. You see purple in a snail that you kill 10,000 of. But I can't even think of a purple logo. Oh, there's like the chocolate with the bunny. That's purple. And so what do we think? I want to get into the language of the color purple. Like I kind of did when talking about what feeling a purple character evokes. What feeling does purple evoke? Like I remember seeing a thing where it was like the color red makes you hungry. Is that right? Oh, Taco Bell is purple. Taco Bell is purple. Oh, purple right here. Purple right here. Wow. It does kind of seem like purple can blend in pretty easily. It's like it's a standout color that can blend in very easily. Purple, I think I'm starting to become a fan of it. Taco Bell stands out in the food landscape, not just food wise, but logo wise. They're purple, and all the other ones, I don't know if it's hocus pocus, but I remember seeing a thing where it's like the color red evokes hunger, and that's why so many fast food logos have red in it. Don't know if I believe that or not, but it could make sense. I don't know if I believe I don't know. Can staring at a color change your mood? Maybe I should have stared at the color purple before starting this and saw what it made me feel. But Taco Bell is purple. Taco Bell is like the only innovative fast food. They're the only one that tries anything new. They're low-key the healthiest fast food. And if you eat Taco Bell and you're like, oh, it's so bad for me, it makes me shit your pants, you're stupid. Maybe you're racist also. You just have no fiber in your diet, and you're going to die of colon cancer at 20 years old. And this is related to the color purple still. Let me take a sip. I guess that's it. Hold on. Sit with me in silence for a minute while I try to think of anything else that's purple. Purple mattress? Purple mattress. Wasn't there like a thing where it's like, I think a lot of mattress companies actually have it. Like there's fiberglass. There was fiberglass inside purple mattresses, which it's like a good material, and when it's sealed, it's fine. But the second you get a rip in your mattress, you have fucking fiberglass just like destroying your skin, your lungs maybe. Surely there's a better alternative. There's a lot of things like that where you're like, surely there's a better alternative, but like when you account for cost, there's kind of not. Like asbestos, low-key the best material ever, except for that it fucking kills you. My house is full of asbestos. In my bedroom, in my crack house, when I moved in, the floor was so nasty and moldy that I just started ripping it up. And underneath the tiles, they were asbestos tiles. And I didn't even have a proper mask. I just tied a t-shirt over my face. And sometimes I'm like, I wonder if I cut back my lifespan a little bit doing that. How did I get here again? Oh yeah, purple mattress. Purple mattress are like those mattresses where it's like, they're this purple like hex material, and their pillows are like $130 for a non-traditional pillow. And I really wish I could afford a good pillow. I remember one time as a gift for my mom, because it's hard to shop for, like a couple years ago, I got her like a $60 pillow. Uh-oh. I just pressed the button on my microphone. I hope it didn't do anything. I got her like a $60 pillow. And she loved it so much, and it lasted about 6 months, which for her is pretty good before it got destroyed. And I was so jealous. Like I got the pillow and I was squeezing it, and I was like, fuck. That's me. Whenever I buy gifts, I'm jealous because I'm like a good gift giver, and I get an amazing gift, and I'm like, I want this for myself, but I will never spend as much money on myself as I spend on other people. And I'm just like hoping like, maybe they got me the same thing, but they never do. Back to mattresses. Do I want to share this detail? Let's just say I acquired my very expensive mattress for free because of a little something called the 100-night trial that a lot of these mattress companies have. where it's guaranteed money back if you don't like your bed within 100 nights. And let's just say shipping a bed is hard, and maybe the companies don't want to bother with it. If you're looking for a mattress, this might be something to look into. Sometimes there's like genuine methods like this that I don't think this video is getting any views. I don't think people are watching 25 minutes of this, but if it does, or if I'm famous one day and people are going back watching the catalog, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to ruin the method for the people with the street intelligence to figure out that you can just get free mattresses. But you can. And if you're watching this, maybe you deserve it. Also, I have like a $1,500 mattress. I've been sleeping on my couch for 6 months. It started because I was too lazy to clean the clothes off of my bed. That's why I started sleeping on my couch. Then I did clean the clothes off of my bed. Still sleeping on my couch. I've always just felt more comfortable in horrible situations, I think. Even when I lived in a studio apartment where my bed was 2 steps away, I usually slept on, back then I had an even worse couch. My shitty couch, more than in my bed. It just feels natural. Growing up, I didn't sleep on a bed. I slept on a couch instead of on my purple mattress, which I don't have. Is purple a sexy color? I picture like a silk, like sexy silk. I guess maybe that comes from royalty. The royalty of status becomes the royalty of the body. And I'm bullshitting. I think I'm out. I think I'm out. I do think I might. I have this exact jacket, but in purple. I didn't plan this video ahead. I just wanted to make a video. I sat down, talked about purple. Maybe I'll make another video. Probably not. I'm pretty lazy. But I think I'm becoming a fan of purple after this. And I hope maybe you're a fan of purple too. Let's give me one more moment of silence to see if I can think of anything else purple. Isn't there, I wish I knew it. I'm pretty sure a movie came out last year. There's like a book called The Color Purple. I think it's about like African American rights. Probably something I should know. Probably something I should have watched or read. But unfortunately, I haven't. Shout out to... All right, back to the silence. Purple. Might be it. Maybe I should have elaborated on other topics more, but I think that's the end of purple. Thank you for watching. Now, leave a comment questioning, why did you watch this, and do you feel like it was worth your time? And purple. Thank you.